Welcome back to another Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Day Zero build, everyone. And today we have Metalhead, whom I was lucky enough to unveil with Brett from Universus. Metalhead is a 5 hand size, 37 health character with the Earth and Void symbols and the Tech keyword, interestingly enough. He has a response once per turn. After you take damage, your rival discards one card, flip one rival foundation. So this is obviously, excuse me. This is obviously a very powerful defensive ability because it basically treats your rival as having one less hand size as long as you're comfortable taking some damage. And you get to target flip any foundation that your rival has. You get to choose. But this is also pretty cool because of how it works with the new pseudo-reversal attacks from the Street Fighter 6 Challenger series. Because if your rival attacks you on your turn, you can just take some damage and force them to discard another card, which really leaves them on the back foot defensively. We also have an enhance, increase the keyword rating of the next keyword ability you play this turn by 1. So this is something that you can store up. Like if you play several attacks that don't have keyword ratings, you can just keep using this enhance, and then your attack that does have a keyword ability that you want to use, like a stun, you can just turn a stun 1 into a stun 4. And it's really powerful because it just builds and builds and builds until you use a keyword ability that has a rating. This also works very well with Breaker on defense, so it's really cool. So he really wants to just mess with your rival and kind of put a lot of pressure on them both offensively and defensively. So let's start with a drink. And then with our attack lineup, we have Get the Horns. This is a 5/3, 3 low for 7 with a 2 low block, charge and fury. As a blitz, if you took damage last turn, this attack gains stun 2. So if we took a hit from as Metalhead and forced our rival to discard a card, this card can gain stun 2. And then we can turn that stun 2 into a stun 3 if this is our first attack this turn, or stun 4 if we don't use. We can just stagger that enhance, and we can make this 3 low for 7 commit a whole lot of cards on our rival's board. Similarly, we have Reciprocate. This is a 5/3, 3 high for 7, as opposed to the 3 low for 7, with a 1 high block, Fury and Slam. Blitz, if you took damage last turn, this attack gets plus 3 damage. So we can go with our Get the Horns as our first attack after we've taken damage, make this a stun 3, and force our rival to commit 3 foundations, and then deal with this 3 low 7, and then throw a 3 high for 10 at our rival, just for taking a bit of damage. Very, very powerful counterplay here. Next we have Thrash About, a 5/3, 5 mid for 5 with a 2 mid block and the Fury keyword. As a response, after we play this card, we selectively flip one rival foundation, which means if we play this as an attack, we selectively flip their best defensive piece, and if it's played as a block, we flip their best offensive piece. Really good utility card here. Next we have Might of Stone. This is a 4/3, 4 high for 4 with a 2 low block, stun 1 and spell. Stun 1, of course, which can get amped up to force a bunch of committal. Blitz, discard 1 card. This attack gets +1 damage for each face down foundation in your rival's stage. So the more we play cards like Thrash About, the more we take damage as Metalhead, the more powerful Might of Stone becomes, which is great. Next we have Throat Slitter, a 5/3, 5 mid for 5 with a 1 mid block, Powerful 2 and Weapon. Powerful 2 is an enhance that says we can spend any number of our momentum, and for each momentum we spend for this ability, we get +2 damage. Or maybe +3, or +4, however much we want to increase thanks to Metalhead's ability. And as a blitz, your rival discards 1 card. If this attack deals damage, your rival draws 1 card. Well, if we're already playing some attacks, and we took damage with Metalhead to force our rival to discard a card, we could empty our rival's hand pretty easily, and then dump a whole lot of damage on them with this powerful 2, or powerful however high we want to make it, so that maybe they don't survive to draw the card. And then we have Massive Blow. This is a 5/3, 3 high for 8 with a 3 high block, Fury, Powerful 3, and Stun 1. And it says Enhance Mill 3. If your printed health is greater than your rival's, this attack gets +2 to its powerful rating, and your rival flips a foundation. So it flips a foundation, and becomes base powerful 5. And it's already a 3 high 8. That's pretty crazy. And again, the stun rating and the powerful rating can be enhanced by Metalhead's ability. So we kind of just want to be a utility, disrupt our rival on defense, and then really let him rip on offense. It's a very good counter character. I don't have any assets here, I don't have any backups, but I do have some actions, starting with Scanlan's Hand. This is from the Critical Role set. It's a 2/5, 2 mid block, ally, punch, and spell. As a form, we commit one rival non-character card, so any of their foundations, backups, assets, what have you. Or we can spend 1 momentum, and if we do, we commit their character instead, which is incredibly powerful. There's not a lot of ways to commit or seal your rival's character in this game. We also have a response that activates in our card pool. After a block is played, the next attack this turn gets +3 or -3 damage, and if your character's hand size is less than your rival's, build this card face down committed. So we get an extra foundation, and if we blocked with this card, we can trigger it to get -3 damage to the next rival attack, which means we can then take an attack and discard a card from our rival's hand, or we can give our next attack +3 damage if we've used that form already. And then we have Maximum Hardening. This is a 2/5 with a 2 mid block. Form, for the rest of this turn, our attacks get +2 damage. So all of our attacks getting a passive damage buff just for this card being played as our form. And then response, after we block an attack with this card, that attack gets -4 damage. And then we can commit one foundation to build this card face down. So again, another action that turns itself into a foundation. And let's say we partial block an attack with this and give it -4 damage, then we force our rival to discard a card with Metalhead and flip one of their foundations while getting another foundation for ourselves. Onto our foundations, we have Out to Lunch. This is a 3/5 with a 2 mid block. Enhance, this attack gets -5 damage. Holy crap. Add this card to your card pool face down. So, really powerful ability here to just reduce an attack by 5 damage, and take a little bit of chunk here, and Metalhead's just going to force our rival to discard a card. We have Slow But Strong, a 2/5 with a 2 high block, Deflect 2, which is a response that says after the block step of our rival's attack, we can add this card to our hand from to our card pool from our hand, and this attack gets -2 damage. So again, taking a bit less damage, so we can trigger Metalhead's ability because we have to take damage from an attack. And as a response in our card pool, at the end of our combat phase, we can just add this card to our hand if it's in our card pool. And how would it get into our card pool? As an enhance, we can add this card to our card pool from our stage. This attack gets +2 or -2 damage. So if we've emptied our rival's hand, we can give a little bit of extra damage, and then at the end of the turn, pick this up and deflect so we can rip more cards out of our rival's hand defensively. It is absolutely gross. We have Moment of Normalcy, a 2/5 with a 3 high block and the unique keyword. Enhance Commit, return this attack to its printed speed or damage. So if we need to block it, we can reset it to printed speed. Or if we just don't want to take a lot of damage, we can reset it to printed damage. We have Nature Calls, a 2/5 with a 2 mid block. Response, Tenacious or playable while committed. Flip. After this foundation is committed to pass the check to play a block, our rival has to flip a foundation. So we're all about turning our rival stage face down and really focusing on cutting off their resources. We have Prepared for an Ambush. This is a 2/5, 3 mid block. Response, flip. After we make a check to block, that check gets +1 for each face down foundation in our rival's stage to a maximum of +5 to our check. That's huge. That means we're pretty much blocking anything we want. We have Dragon's Fortitude, a 2/5 with a 2 mid block. Deflect 2, again allowing us to get -2 damage just by putting it in our card pool from our hand during our rival's block step. Enhance Tenacious, spend 1 momentum. This attack gets -3 damage. So if we're not going to pour all of our damage or momentum into a powerful, we can use it for -3 damage, take 1 or 2 damage from our rival's attack, rip a card out of their hand with Metalhead, and keep going. We have Beneath the Armor. This is a 2/5 with a 3 low block. Enhance once per turn, flip 1 foundation. This attack gets +2 or -2 damage. So damage pump or damage reduction. It doesn't matter to us, whatever we need. We have Fearsome Transformations, a 1/5 with a 3 high block. Enhance flip, draw 1 card. If you have no momentum, discard 1 card. At the worst, it's a card cycle, just draw 1 to discard 1. At the best, it's just flip to draw 1. We have Toughest Punk in Junior High. This is a 2/5 with a 3 mid block. Response flip, before we would take damage from any attack, we reduce the damage taken by 3. So this works in conjunction with deflect or partial blocks. We're just taking as little damage as possible and just ripping our rival a new one defensively. Like with Heroic Endurance, a 2/5 with a 3 mid block. Enhance Commit, this attack gets -2 damage. Enhance Tenacious, remove, this attack gets -2 damage. So -4 damage in 1 foundation. Just like the -5 damage in Out to Lunch. You're gonna survive a lot. We have Ultra Regeneration, a 4/6 with a 2 low block. Response Tenacious, flip. After you take 5 or more damage from an attack, draw 2 cards and gain 2 health. Gaining health is really good. And then Tenacious, remove, if you have no ready foundations, add 1 card from your discard pile to your hand. So if we are all tapped out and our rival plays another attack, we can just remove this and grab any attack from our discard pile to our hand to play on our rival's our next turn. We have Defending Pageant Queen, a 2/5, 3 high block. Enhance remove, reduce this attack speed to 1. Just guaranteeing we're going to block something. And lastly, What is a Symbol? A 2/5, 3 high block. Pro Hero Breaker 1. We're not a pro hero though, so we don't get to access to that. Enhance, once per turn, remove 2 foundations from your discard pile. This attack gets +2 or -2 damage. So again, damage pump when we need it, damage reduction to make sure that we can use Metalhead as much as possible. And I don't normally go into stats for this, for these Day Zeros, because they're very basic, but if you do build a Metalhead with mostly mid blocks, that's just fine, because you want to take a little bit of damage every turn to guarantee you're getting Metalhead's response off. So it's okay to lean heavily into the mid zone since it can block everything, and partial blocks just help you flip foundations and force your rival to discard cards. But that is going to be it for our Day 0 for Metalhead. This is another character I'm really excited to play. I love You're Locked In Here With Me characters, and I can't wait to get my hands on Metalhead and get building. If you enjoyed the video, please leave it a like. If you're not subscribed to the channel so far, please consider subscribing. I put a lot of work into these Day 0 builds to get everyone on the same page of like the basics of these characters, and I've gotten a lot of responses. People want to see what I would do with more competitive versions of these decks, so I'll probably be doing that as a live stream after the Day Zeros are done. So I will make a post on Facebook and in the Discord for when I'm going to do that, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.